Most people believe dementia begins the day memory disappears. That belief is wrong, and it's costing families years of warning. Long before names are forgotten, long before doctors say the word dementia, the brain sends quiet signals almost everyone ignores. Today, you're going to hear those signals, the real early signs of dementia that show up in daily behavior, mood, speech, and decision-making, often 5 to 10 years before diagnosis. If you're over 50, or love someone who is, this may be the most important 7 minutes you watch this year. Let's start with the first sign almost no one recognizes. Struggling with familiar tasks. This isn't about learning something new. It's about suddenly needing effort for things once automatic, managing bills, following a simple recipe, or operating devices you've used for years. The brain isn't tired. The networks responsible for planning and execution are weakening. Next comes subtle changes in language. Not total word loss, but increased pauses, vague substitutes like that thing, or circling around simple words that used to come instantly. Language decline is rarely random. It's one of the earliest indicators that memory pathways are under strain. Another early signal is difficulty following conversations. Someone may lose track mid-sentence, struggle in group discussions, or appear distracted when they're actually overwhelmed. This happens because the brain can no longer process information at its previous speed. Now let's talk about one of the most misinterpreted signs. Changes in personality and mood. A patient person becomes irritable. A confident person becomes anxious. A social person begins withdrawing. This isn't emotional weakness. It's neurological change in the brain regions that regulate behavior and emotion. Another warning sign is declining judgment. This can look like poor financial decisions, falling for obvious scams, or risky behavior that feels completely out of character. The frontal lobe, the brain's decision-making center, is often affected early in dementia. Next is subtle disorientation. Not getting lost dramatically, but hesitation on familiar routes, or brief confusion in places that should feel automatic. These moments are easy to dismiss, but they reflect changes in spatial memory. Now pay close attention to this one. Visual processing problems. Even with healthy eyesight, someone may misjudge distances, have trouble reading, or struggle to recognize faces. This is especially common in vascular dementia, where reduced blood flow damages visual and spatial processing areas. Which leads to something critical you need to know. Dementia is not a single disease. Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, Lewy body dementia, they affect different brain systems, but they share one truth: damage begins years before diagnosis. Another early sign is slowed thinking. Long pauses before answering. Difficulty making decisions. Needing more time to process simple information. The brain is compensating, working harder to maintain normal function. And finally, memory changes that feel different from normal aging. Not misplacing keys, but forgetting recent conversations repeatedly. Forgetting why you entered a room. Needing constant reminders for recent events. This is short-term memory failure, and it's one of the clearest early indicators of dementia. Here's the most important takeaway. Early awareness changes outcomes. Managing blood pressure, blood sugar, sleep, stress, staying physically active, and mentally engaged can significantly slow progression, especially in vascular dementia. Ignoring early signs doesn't protect you. Understanding them does. So if these signs feel familiar, in yourself or someone you love, don't panic. But don't dismiss them either. The brain whispers before it screams. And listening early can preserve years of clarity, independence, and life. If this information mattered to you, share it with someone who needs it. Because the right knowledge, at the right time, can change everything.